welcome back to Lee Parker Beauty. If you'd like to see how I created this fun 4th of July makeup look, then please keep watching. Okay, so to start with today, I've recently started using a Rosehip Collagen Repair Serum. Because I'm getting older, I've really got to start taking care of my skin. I'm absolutely terrible with it. So this just basically stimulates collagen to improve firmness and elasticity in your skin. I've really, in the past year, noticed all the fine lines and the wrinkles starting to come. So I've noticed a huge difference since using this. I've probably been on it for about a month. I just got this from our local supermarket. It's by Essano. I think it's a New Zealand company. So it's really nice because it's not oily, it's not sticky. It just absorbs into your skin really beautifully. Once I've done that, I go in with my primer. I'm using my favorite primer in the whole entire world. This is by Mercier. It's the radiance primer, so it's got a bit of illumination in it, and it just makes your skin glow. It's beautiful. So you can see it's quite glowy. Gives you a really nice sheen. And another reason I wanted to use this today in particular is because I'm going to use the Fenty foundation. So it's her Pro Filter, it's Rihanna's makeup. This is the shade 300 and it turns into a matte foundation. So it goes on quite liquid, turns into a matte, and it's absolutely beautiful. It is one of my favorites. The only thing I will say though is I have combination skin, so I'm quite oily through the T-zone but dry on my cheeks. I worked with a girl who had the exact same skin type and she hated this. It did not work for her. So I would recommend, I just got this from Sephora, I would recommend asking them for a sample pot. Just explain that, you know, you've had bad luck with foundations in the past and you really need to make sure that this is okay before you buy an entire bottle. They're usually pretty good about it. And just see how it actually goes for you. And I go in with my brush, and then I always finish with my beauty blender. So the reason I use my beauty blender over the top is just the brush can sometimes leave brush marks and this just smooths it over. Next, I'm going to use my Maybelline Master Conceal concealers. I mix the medium and the light medium together. When I use this foundation, I just find this one's too light, this one's too dark, so I meet in the middle. Once I've done that, the only part I'm going to set is through my T-zone because that is where I get oily. I'm going to be using my Mercier translucent powder. It's my favorite powder in the world. So I always set under my eyes, and you should too, because that's where we get quite animated when we talk. So you're always going to get your little creases in the fine lines. to powder contour, I'm going to be using the Australis contour kit. This is in the light complexion. It's actually a really beautiful powder kit. I'm going to be using this one because I'm quite tan. I usually mix those two together. This one's great if you have a bit more of a pale complexion. Just be really careful though, because it is quite ashy. If you go too hard, it ends up looking quite murky. Now, I know whenever I do my contour on video, it looks extreme, but what you've got to remember is your skin temperature heats all your makeup. It usually takes about 30 minutes for your skin temperature to warm up all your makeup, and then it settles. So it softens it quite a bit. So sometimes you've got to actually go in quite hard for it to last. Day without contouring my nose. We all have our insecurities. Now to blend out my contour, I'm going to be using my Hoola bronzer by Benefit. I love this bronzer. I just hate how small this little box is. It makes it really difficult to get your brush in because I normally like something big like that. I have to downsize for this bronzer. It's such a pretty shade though. Now I'm going for more of a bronzy look today, so I don't want to be too highlighted with my concealer under my eyes. So I just softly sort of dust it over everywhere. Tip of my nose. Just to look a bit sun-kissed. Even though it's freezing cold winter here in Australia, this is a July 4th makeup look and you guys have summer, so let's fake as much sun exposure as possible with makeup. Now my life would not be complete without highlight, and you all know I love my Anastasia Beverly Hills Amrezy highlight. It's just absolute magic. For blush today, I'm going to be using my Inglot Jlo palette. So I'm going to be using this one here. I think it's number 25. I love Inglot blushes. They are so pigmented, which also means you've got to be quite careful when you do it, but don't stress because, like I said, your skin oxidizes. Takes about half an hour. And if you have put too much blush on, you just go through with your powder brush and just blend it out. Next step, I'm doing eyebrows. And I'm going to use my trusty Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz. My last video was an absolute disaster because of the brow product that I used. And I'm so happy to be using this one again today because honestly, nothing compares to this. This is actually quite difficult to do from this angle. Normally I'm like right up in the mirror, but I can't do that on camera. So you're gonna have to bear with me. Such a good product. It's just so natural looking, and because it's so fine you can really imitate brush hairs, which is what I do in the front. The good thing about this product is that you can go as light or as heavy as you want. This is the shade dark brown. Such a good product. So for eyes today, I'm going to keep my eyeshadow quite natural. I'm going for a big wing though, so I want that to be the statement piece with my lashes. So I'm going to use the Jaclyn Hill Morphe eyeshadow palette. And I'm just going to be using this shade here and this nice champagne shade for the lid. So I'm just using the brown through the crease, just to define it a little bit. So it just gives you a nice shimmer, champagne sort of pop. Now for the winged liner, I'm going to use my absolute favourite liner ever. It's by NYX. It's the Vinyl Liquid Liner. I love it because it has such a fine brush, and so it's really easy to do. If you just want a thin wing, you can build it up if you want a thicker one. So I just love it. So once I've done my winged liner, there's always a gap, so your upper waterline, so the bit of skin that runs right on top of your eye, that can look a bit bare if it's not also black. So I then go in with my gel liner. I use the Jlo gel liner from Inglot, and this is going to look really weird, but you've got to lift up your eye and just paint along the inner waterline, and it makes your eyes water, so just take your time. So it just blends I go in with my lashes. I'm going to be using my Aphrodite lashes today. These ones are just a bit more seductive. They draw your eyes out, whereas the baby doll lashes, they're quite fun and flirty, so they open your eyes up. And I'm actually going to be using a black glue today. I find that when I've done a wing like this, it just blends a bit better as opposed to the clear glue. The glue I'm going to be using today is the Ardell Black Lash Glue. So I just sit it in the middle of my eye. And I pull down each corner. So you can see they draw my eye out a little bit longer, a little bit wider because they're longer at the edges. Whereas baby doll is quite, you know, it fans out the same all the way around. Once I've done my lashes, I just go in with some mascara. I'm using the Maybelline Great Lash, it's my favorite. This one is the non-waterproof one. And so I'm not going to put it on the false lashes, I'm just pressing my lashes up into them. You can do your mascara first before lashes if you want. I just find that this helps lift your lashes into them so it just becomes a bit more comfortable. Once mascara's done, we go into my favorite part of this whole look, the lips. The lip liner I'm going to be using is by Savvy. It's an Aussie brand, so I don't think you can get it in the States. But it's just, it matches the NYX liquid suede in it just says number 11. So I just got this from Ulta. It is my favorite red in the entire world. So like I said, this one is the NYX Liquid Suede, number 11. It is just the perfect shade of red. The reason I go in with lip liner first is because it's kind of like colouring within the lines. It just makes it really easy for you to then go in with your lipstick. Now I'm going okay so far with lipstick on my teeth, but to prevent it, the easiest thing to do, looks quite strange, but you stick your finger in your mouth. And so there. And so another thing you can do is just clamp your lips over a tissue. So that will also take that ring around. Now what I like to do with this lipstick is, although it dries matte, it doesn't dry quick enough for me. So I usually fold up a tissue and I just press my lips into it. So you get a perfect lip print. but it just takes off that excess, so it's just dry quicker. You can put translucent powder over the top if you want. I just don't like that feel. The tissue does what I want it to do anyway. If you find that you go outside the lines, you know, anywhere, you can just grab your concealer brush from before if you used it like I did, and just run it along the edges where you overdrew. And that will just clean up. So last step of the look is setting spray. I'm using my Urban Decay All Nighter. It is the holy grail of setting sprays. And that is the completed look. Thank you so much for watching. I'll list all the products that I use down below. If you don't already, please follow me under Aussie Girl in a US World on Instagram. I post all my beauty stuff on there. You can also follow me on Lee Parker Beauty. That's where I advertise all my lashes and all my makeup clients. If you haven't already, please like the video and subscribe to my channel, and make sure you turn on post notifications so it tells you when I put a new video up. Other than that, again, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.